Working on a show is not for the faint-hearted. There's a lot of early mornings, late nights, hard work, and dedication throughout the whole process. Not just into the performances themselves, but from the very start of the rehearsal. Every single day, you have to put everything you've got into it. You have to put literally all your energy into everything you do. Otherwise, you just won't put off the show. We normally start from like 10 in the morning, no earlier than that really, and finish round 6, 7. It varies depending on what our director wants us to do. So we start with a warm up. We normally start by laying on the floor and just relaxing and getting in the zone and working on our breathing. And then he would then call certain people at certain times to work on particular scenes. And then we'd have lunch, and then after lunch we'll warm up again and do a run of the show. Then he'll give us notes, and depending on what time we finish, we might stay behind and do some tech work, or if the wood shop or sewing's open late, costume and set will go into those resources and make their costumes and paint the set or build it, whatever needs doing. So it's quite a simple day really, but in terms of scheduling, but in terms of what we actually do in the day, it's not that simple. Acting in a show is not just acting, there's so much more behind it. It's not just learning lines. You've got to know where you're going to move to at certain points. You've got to know what you're doing with your body, because now you're out of school and not doing amateur stuff. Because you're in a now professional environment, directors have really specific things they want you to do. I have found that in this show. Like if you move to a wrong place, it will mess up everyone else's blocking. So acting is not just a case of learning lines. You've got to remember your movements. You've got to do your tech at the same time, especially in this university. And yeah, it's not just learning lines. You've got to get into the role. And also in this play, because we're doing it in 1940s film noir style, we are doing it in the style of a film set. So in between scenes, you'll hear someone calling people to the stage for their next scene. People will be moving set on and off stage, moving props on and off stage, changing costumes, or helping people to change costumes. There is never a point in this show when you're not doing anything. Even when you're sitting still after having done all you need to do, you're not just sitting still watching. You have to be thinking about what you're going to do next, whether it's moving something or getting into position for the next scene or changing a costume. Yeah, I don't think dance is just movement. Especially contemporary can convey a lot of emotion through it. And obviously there's other styles like jazz. It's quite precise. Some of it can be quite flirty and sexy, like Bob Fosse, for example. And it's all in the face. You have to show it on your face and that. So it's not just a case of movement. It's emotion in there as well. It's a mix of a lot of things. It's feelings, it's emotions, and with movement. You can have noise in there as well, even made by using your mouth, by talking, by making noises with your voice. So it's not just movement, it's a mix of loads of different things.
The atmosphere in the rehearsal room is always very supportive and very positive. I mean, at times it can get stressful because when you mess up your lines, sometimes it just gets a bit hard to focus fully, and you do get upset when you mess up. But as a group, we are very supportive of each other, and you just try and keep everyone in a positive attitude and just making sure that everyone knows that they're doing really well. At the end of the day of rehearsals, you literally just feel exhausted from them. You want to go home and just go to bed. But the thing is, you can't do that. You have to keep going because the amount of stuff you have to do in and out of rehearsals is unbelievable. And you just have to think the next day you're going through the same process all over again. So you can't let yourself relax, because then it would be even harder to get yourself back onto your feet the next day. Because you think, oh, I've got nothing to do. You really have got a lot to do. So it's better to keep yourself on the ball and then just keep yourself going.